Pay me, pay me, pay me my silver now. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my silver now.
We're roadtour.com. We have a silver red alert. Red alert. Being in the silver market for 25 years now, certain times feel different than other times. I remember silver couldn't get above $5 for years. It was like, oh my God, every time I got near $5, it gets slammed down. And then all of a sudden, when it broke $5, it was like, you could tell, it was like little ticks up and absolutely destroyed the shorts. That's where we are now. I believe that's where we are now. And the most important thing for silver investors is once we break $30 and establish that as a floor, as I talked about in this morning's news, that new floor is going to be massive because India and China are currently buying everything under $25. When $30 breaks and holds as a floor, then $30 will be the new floor, and India and China need literally hundreds of millions of ounces of silver to do all the things they want to do, especially with solar and electric cars. I talked about this a lot this morning, but this really does. We're over 29. We are approaching 30. Will this push be over 30? I think it will be. If it is not, and it gets pushed down a little, first of all, it won't go below $25 for more than a blink of an eye. That's where India, especially India, because I have that data, I see it. Whenever it happens, I see it. And that has been inching up. But $30, when the $30 floor is set in place, probably in the next couple of weeks, I think it should be, then you'll never see the price go under 30 ever again in history, ever. That's what we're dealing with. The whole world needs the real thing, physical silver. Back in 2011, it was all rigged by J.P. Morgan from $25 up to $50 and then back down to under $10. That was all about rigging the derivative market. Jamie Dimon put a guy named Bill Daley as Obama's right-hand man just for the silver. That's how important silver is. And then they created the artificial bear market we've been in since 2011. So it was all derivatives. Back in the 1980, that had more of a physical component, but the COMEX officially changed the rules, so the Hunt brothers got taken out. But their big problem was it wasn't that they bought 100 million ounces of physical silver, because J.P. Morgan's already bought over $1 billion. But their big problem was they were playing on the COMEX, and the COMEX can change the rules. So don't play on the COMEX. Don't have any metal outside of your own possession. Now is not the time to be messing around with ETFs or mining stocks or anything like that. Now is not the time. This is the end game for the banking cabal. And I've been screaming, it all has to happen before the election. My discussions with Jenny Moonstar as far as timing, she saw a huge second quarter. That's where we are now, second quarter. And then a calming off until we get to the end of September, which is probably the coup de grace throughout the end of the year. And so my take is we're going to see silver break over 30, establish a floor at 30 all throughout second quarter, and run all the way up to 50. It'll probably be controlled right around 50 for a couple months. And then once it breaks 50, it's blue sky. And the bankers will shut down the COMEX, which is coming anyway. They've already announced it. They've announced that we need to figure out, I think it was the IMF, we need to figure out how to resolve not only banks in the case of failure, but exchanges in the case of failure, because they are the guarantors of the derivative contracts and things like that. So really exciting times. So basically my message for this is this could be it. We could break through for the first time on 30. They might try to slam it down. But definitely you want to get your physical silver, because premiums are not going to be going down much at all from here. Premiums in silver can range from anywhere from 10% to 100%, especially when you're talking U.S. silver eagles and U.S. coinage. I've talked a lot about that. So definitely, if you have a local physical silver seller, you want to get it. It's almost too late to get it. But I think you'll be able to buy it. It just won't be under $30. This is the end of $30 silver. As you can tell, there's a lot of volume going through right now. and we'll see. We'll see what happens. But now really does feel like the time, second quarter, to bust through 30 and establish a floor. And that floor will not be broken. India's already starting to break the floor. They're going to import. They're on track to import 500 million ounces. That's a whole lot of physical silver going into India. The old record was 300 million ounces. So, and China does double, triple that. Just keep that in mind. All right. So yeah, go to your local guy, and if they can swap gold for silver, best time ever to do that. As you can tell, here's the 30-year chart for the gold-silver ratio. It has rarely stayed above 80. Right now, it's at 82. That's 82 ounces of silver for one, price-wise, for 1 ounce of gold. Now, they're going to charge you commissions and things like that, shop around a little bit. But as you can tell, going back to this goes back 30 years to the early 90s, very rare is it above 80 and holding. And it's been above 80 and holding for the last, since JP Morgan was taken down back at the, at that point in time, that's when it spiked. Everything is controlled by computer programs and the banking cabal. But there are things they can't control. That's the amount of physical silver that's being consumed. And that is just going off the charts with solar. We're going to double again this year. That's going to be about 600 to 700 million ounces going into just solar. No, it's not what the metals focus. And Jeffrey Christian hasn't come out with his yet, but he'll come out with it soon. Because he likes to wait for everybody else to post their numbers. It's like a cartoon. So go to your local coin dealer, get as much physical silver as you can in your own possession. I live in America. I like the U.S. Pre-65 coinage the best, depending on where you can get the premiums from. And then Silver Eagles, and then I'll move on to coins. Start with small denominations. Try to stay away from 100-ounce bars. There's going to be a lot of questioning what's real and what's fake in the future. I like to stick to the cheapest, but not the cheapest such that, you got salted bars is what they're called. They put molybdenum inside the silver so you don't get what you're paying for. So keep it low. And if you don't have a local guy, you can use our guy. Andy Schectman, my friend, has been my friend for a very long time. It's helped so many people at Road to Ruta get into silver, and he'll mail it, literally. It'll come to your front door. So once he gets the money in the bank, he's going to ship you. I suggest buying what he's got in inventory. They'll give you a list of their inventory, and they'll give you good prices if you call them up. If you look on their website for their prices, they're always inflated. He said, tell all your Road to Ruta customers, call for numbers. Call to get prices. So call Andy Schectman at Miles Franklin. Here's the number. Contact number is 952-929-7006. That's 952-929-7006. They'll ask you who sent you. Say, Bix sent me. He said I can get better prices than what you're advertising online. And you just say Bix sent me or Road to Ruta sent me. They'll take care of you. If you've already bought from Andy, it's a good time now to load up final. The other cool thing about Miles Franklin is they will swap gold for silver. And I've done that a couple times with them, and they give you really good prices because they're not going to charge you like double commissions on both deals. They'll get you a good price to make the swap. So, yeah, definitely have a gold. If you listen to anything I've said, number one thing is get silver into your own possession. Number two thing is swap all your gold for silver. The no-brainer of a lifetime above 80 to 1. And you won't get 80 ounces because of the commissions, but you'll do a lot better. And then you can swap back when silver's freely traded. And I do think it will one day. After things settle down, it'll probably be 3.5 to 1, 4 to 1, not 80 to 1. So yeah, you can buy a hell of a lot more when you swap back. You can have a hell of a lot more gold. If you have 100 ounces of gold now, swap it all for silver, swap it back, and you'll have 5 or 6, 7 times as much gold. If you love gold, you should definitely swap your gold for silver right now. Anyway, that's my take. You can also get in touch with Miles Franklin at their email address, info at milesfranklin.com, milesfranklin.com. And they'll just ask them to send you their inventory sheet. And they'll send you a sheet of their inventory. You can talk prices with them. They'll talk silver conspiracy with you. They're great people. They give great customer service. And there's never been a Better Business Bureau complaint about them. As silver breaks $30, you're going to hear a lot of promises. We're going to get you the silver real soon on the online guys. They go out of business all the time. You got to know who you're dealing with, or they're going to screw you. Absolutely, I trust Andy Schectman. Here's his lovely face of Miles Franklin. I've known him for over 15 years now. Good guy, great guy, and he won't screw you over at all. He'll take great care of you. So contact Miles Franklin, get your physical silver, go to your local coin shop, get your physical silver, because when we break $30, that is the new floor, and then China and India will say, okay, that's our line. They might even start buying now. India has already. China, it's hard to get numbers out of China, but the vast majority of silver imports don't go into India. They go into China to make the products. For example, 90% of all solar panels are made in China. Well, that's 90% of 350 million. That's blowing away almost every country on the planet other than India. And that's just for solar. That's just for solar. They also have they make the most electric cars in the world. And my guess is over 1 billion ounces a year goes into China for silver imports. China's no dummy. They play the long game. You need to too. This is Bix Weir, roadtoroad.com with your Red Alert, silver watch for $30. Talk to you later.